What's up, family? Welcome back to another legendary reaction video. So we got Teresa Weatherspoon loses it, proving that Caitlin Clark effect is shaking up the WNBA, as we already know. So with no further ado, family, let's get straight into the video.
The WNBA press conferences are getting more and more controversial.
Against the Fever, the Wings, how are you going to use this as a measuring stick to assess whether or not maybe some changes need to happen?
Dang. They didn't even have the decency to answer the question as a coach. And this is what type of leadership is? Running off and leading with your emotions on your sleeve? Just answer the question, man. You win some, you lose some. Sheesh.
What you just witnessed was Teresa Weatherspoon, head coach of the Chicago Sky, literally running away from questions about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. But why would a coach like Weatherspoon react this way? Is Clark's dominance getting on the nerves of the entire league? Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we're going to dive deep into this controversy and find out why the Caitlin Clark effect is turning the WNBA upside down. First, let's recall why Caitlin Clark is causing such a stir in the WNBA. Since entering the league, Clark has been nothing short of phenomenal.
Facts.
She's not just an ordinary rookie, she's redefining what it means to be a star in the WNBA. After the break, she has been leading the Indiana Fever in an...
Comment down below, family. I want to know you guys' opinion. I feel like Caitlin Clark needed that break, and she came back stronger and better than ever. It was a Team USA loss. She took advantage of that, built the chemistry with her teammates and her team, and they're doing phenomenal, man. They're doing great, you know?
An impressive manner. Let's take a look at some numbers. Average points per game, 22.6. Assists per game, 7.8. Rebounds per game, 5.4. Three-point percentage, 34.6%.
Sheesh.
These numbers are jaw-dropping for any player, but for a rookie, it's simply unprecedented. And it's not just Clark who's shining. The Indiana Fever, who finished last season with a 13-27 record, are now fighting for a playoff spot. They've already surpassed their win total from last year and are playing exciting, competitive basketball. It's as if Clark has injected a dose of adrenaline into the entire team. The Fever is no longer the league's punching bag. They're making noise, bothering the big teams, and yes, making some coaches lose their cool. But with great success comes great attention. And not all of it is positive. Clark's dominance is starting to bother some in the league. And that brings us back to that shocking scene with Teresa Weatherspoon. The WNBA has always had its rivalries, but what we're seeing now with Clark and the Indiana Fever is elevating tensions to a new level. Let's take a look at some recent incidents that show how the climate is heating up in the league. First, we have the case of Alyssa Thomas. In the last game against the Connecticut Sun, Thomas knocked Clark down with a hard foul that many considered unnecessary. Many fans...
It was unnecessary. Look at that. You could tell she just threw her shoulder, man. That was a dirty play. And she should have been held accountable. I'm actually looking up, family, how many times did the Chicago Sky play Indiana Fever this year? I believe how many times did the Chicago Sky play? Because I believe obviously Caitlin Clark, they blew out Chicago Sky, right? But I believe they beat the Chicago Sky at least twice. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. Let me see. Chicago Sky. Yeah. So then the Fever played the Chicago Sky June 16th. That was 83-91. Indiana Fever had 91. And then it was June. It was June June 16th, June 1st, 2024, they played. It was 70-71. And the Indian Fever pulled the game out with a win, 71. Then they played, Indian Fever played Chicago Sky June 16th. They won again 83-91. And then they just played the Chicago Sky August 30th, which was this recent game on this past Friday. It was 100-81. So man, 3 times, man. 3 times, like I said. Indiana Fever kicked the Chicago Sky's butt, man.
Fans and analysts interpreted this foul as a clear message. Welcome to the WNBA, rookie. And it doesn't stop there. We've seen a pattern of more physical and aggressive marking against Clark in several games. It seems that opposing teams are willing to do anything to try to contain her impact. But you know what's most impressive? Clark isn't intimidated. She keeps playing her game, making impossible passes, hitting long-range shots, and leading her team. Now, let's focus on Weatherspoon's sudden exit from the press conference. In all my time covering basketball, I've never seen anything like it.
Exactly.
A coach simply...
I ain't never seen and she should be fined. The whole point is, answering the hard-hit questions, interacting, social media engagement. Those moments fans look up to, especially when after the game, you get to answer those questions after the aftermath or whatever the result of the game was and whoever won. Those reporters will love and fans will love to see how they approach it. And that sets the tone for the overall team because this is Chicago Sky's coach. You got to have good sportsmanship. And that was horrible sportsmanship. She just got up and walked away, bro. She should be held accountable because in the NBA, comment down below, family, if you guys agree or not. In the NBA, a coach would have been fined. They even hold the NBA players, the men, accountable if they walk up and disregard anything that the reporters have to say when it comes to the questions. They don't want to ask or they feel like they don't need to. It's your job. This is part of your job. Anyway, let's continue.
Refusing to answer questions about an opponent. This is something completely out of the ordinary. Let's put this in context a bit. Teresa Weatherspoon isn't just any coach. She's a women's basketball legend, a Hall of Famer, a 2-time WNBA champion as a player. She's seen it all in this sport. Or at least we thought she had. The question that remains is, what led Weatherspoon to such an extreme reaction? Is it just the frustration of seeing her team, the Chicago Sky, struggling while Clark's...
It don't matter. If you get frustrated, you go answer the questions. You have good sportsmanship. You have respect. The reporters wasn't the reason, the result of why they lost the game. If you mad, you go take that out on you. You go after you go do your job and answer reporters and the hard hit questions as the leader of the team and a coach of a team. You go to the locker room and express your frustrations with yourself. Sit with yourself. But come on, man.
Fever is on the rise, or is there something deeper going on here? Some analysts are suggesting that Weatherspoon's reaction is a symptom of a bigger problem in the league. Maybe it's a sign that some WNBA veterans are having trouble dealing with the meteoric rise of a rookie like Clark. And we can't ignore the fact that this reaction came just before a crucial showdown between the Sky and the Fever. It's as if Weatherspoon was sending a message not just to the media, but to her own team and to the league as a whole.
She set the tone.
Weatherspoon's silence speaks louder than any words she could have said. It shows us how much Caitlin Clark is impacting the league, not just on the court, but off it as well. Imagine being a veteran coach.
Teresa Weatherspoon is entitled, you can see, because she felt entitled enough where, like, who is you to ask me this question? I'm going to get up and walk away. That's what she look like. That's what she come off like. But at the end of the day, you can't be a sore loser if you're a legend yourself. You're a coach. You got to take it on the chin, right? At the end of the day, no matter if they don't want to embrace the greatness of Caitlin Clark or they're trying to disregard this change that's positive for everyone, it is what it is, and it's going to be what it is. It's not, look, the problem is, I believe, it's the controversy behind it. that rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Andrew Reese, and they feel like they have to prove something, Teresa Weatherspoon, but the only thing they have proven is they're sore losers. Sore losers. Let's continue, family.
With years of experience, and suddenly a 22-year-old girl comes along and makes your tactical scheme look obsolete. It's not hard to understand why some might feel threatened, right? Plus, Clark brings with her media attention that the WNBA has rarely seen. Fever games are having record audiences. Social media is full of her highlights, and suddenly everyone wants to talk about the league. This is great for women's basketball as a whole, but it can be uncomfortable for coaches and players who have been in the league for years and never received this kind of attention.
Oh well,
There's
get
also
over
the
it.
question of playing style. Clark plays a daring brand of basketball, full of risky passes and long-range shots. It's a style that challenges the traditional conventions of professional play. For more conservative coaches, this might almost seem like an affront to the right way to play. And we can't ignore the financial factor. Clark's success is bringing more money and attention to the league, which
Exactly.
increases the pressure on everyone to perform. Coaches who
Exactly. Because when you're getting that money, you better show up and you better show out. Because obviously you're getting paid not only for you, not you're getting paid for the simple fact that obviously you are seen as valuable. But if you're not showing that and you're not showcasing your effectiveness of how valuable you is, and this is just in general, sports, a job, well, this is their job, but sports, business, whatever, they're gonna be like, why would I pay somebody that's not that's not caring enough to even not so much feel entitled or feel like when they do take losses, they have a tantrum. Because she had a tantrum deep inside internally. That's why she walked away. But my thing is, you getting paid all this money, you better do your job and get on your job and stay focused. Caitlin Clark is bringing a lot of money in and is actually testing these individuals to see if they're even worth being paid what they are getting paid. And they don't like that because they've been stuck in their ways for so long, doing what they wanted to do without having the visibility to be held accountable. And now people is holding the league accountable, these sort of losers, entitled individuals accountable. It's people that's no longer in the limelight, like Teresa Weatherspoon. You know, Don Staley. Their time is up. It's Caitlin Clark time. You know, and let her rock out. Embrace it. Y'all had the limelight, and so can she. It's just a simple fact that I feel like everybody was so busy boasting around how big of a person they are, legendary they are, and so stuck on their legacy in regards of what they brought to the WNBA, stuck in their ways and so stuck up that they can't embrace or fathom to even endure the greatness of someone else. That's selfish. So you got a lot of entitled, petty, jealous, envious individuals around the league of the WNBA. And not only is the money going to show their worth, but it's also showing their true color. See, money only exposes the very thing of what you more what you more is of. Or I should say, money exposes more of who you are, I should say, right? She should be fined, Teresa Weatherspoon. And I'm curious to get you guys' opinion in the comments below.
can't adapt to this new era may find themselves quickly out of a job. All of
Yeah.
this creates a scenario where some coaches may feel not just challenged, but genuinely threatened by Clark's rise. And maybe that's what we're seeing in reactions like Weatherspoon's. After all, the Caitlin Clark effect is transforming the way people view and consume the WNBA. Let's take a look at some impressive numbers. 35% increase in television viewership for Fever games. Huge increase in WNBA social media followers. Record ticket sales in several Fever away games. These numbers are simply astronomical for the WNBA.
It is.
Clark isn't just playing well, she's bringing new eyes to the league. But it's not all roses. With all the
Why you think, family, they played from a business perspective Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever 3 times this year? The views, the viewer retention that comes with it. They see it, even if they want to be in denial about it. They see it.
this attention comes enormous pressure. Every move Clark makes is analyzed, every mistake is amplified. And this doesn't just affect her, but the entire league. Coaches and players who previously operated with relative tranquility now find themselves in the spotlight. Every tactical decision, every substitution, every...
All right, family, excuse the ad. We'll pick up in a minute, man. But it's just wild, man. Sore loser of a coach, man.
Post-game comment, everything is scrutinized like never before. It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's the kind of attention the WNBA has always dreamed of. On the other, it's creating an environment of intense pressure that not everyone is.
For them, it's a gift and a curse. They've been so laid back and so lazy at their jobs that they have been sitting in their position for so long, like these coaches, for example, like Teresa Weatherspoon, that now that she's challenged to step up and be more effective in her coaching, she don't know how to do it because she's been so busy just champion however legend she is and not doing so much of effective coaching. If anything, ineffective, obviously, because she's so stuck to how she used to coach. That's why she got up with that entitlement to feel like, I don't got to answer you.
Prepared to handle. And this is only going to get more intense. The regular season is coming to an end, and the Caitlin Clark effect is about to be tested on the biggest stage, the WNBA playoffs. And let me tell you, the scenario we have ahead is hair-raising. First, the playoff race, the Fever, which many expected to be at the bottom of the table, is fighting for a spot, and people are already talking about seeing Caitlin as a champion in her first year. I don't think it would be an exaggeration. After all, she is dominating. But we can't forget the extra pressure. Each playoff game will be scrutinized like never before. The media attention, fan expectations, everything will be amplified to the max. Clark has already shown she doesn't fear big moments.
Of course.
But the playoffs are a different beast. Will she shine even brighter under the spotlight? Or will the pressure...
I believe she will. I believe a lot of these women out of shape. They can't even catch her. It's like playing tag just to stay in front of her to defend her from a defensive standpoint. Crazy.
Be too much, and what about the other teams? They'll certainly be preparing specific strategies to contain Clark. We can expect to see even more physical marking, constant doubles, anything to take the ball out of her hands. This all leads to a crucial question. Will Clark and the Fever's success in the regular season translate into playoff success? Or will we see more experienced teams prevailing when the pressure increases? One thing is certain.
I feel like more experienced teams will not prevail as the pressure increases because they've been playing the game the same way, and obviously it's not working now, so they don't know what to do. They're scrambling and scraping. But I feel like the pressure that Caitlin Clark has already been enduring this whole season, obviously she's going to prevail in the playoff run because she's used to that pressure. Ain't nothing new. Know what I'm saying?
These playoffs promise to be the most exciting and most watched in WNBA history. And, regardless of the outcome, they will set the tone for the future of the league. We're about to witness history being made, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. What do you think will happen in the playoffs? And what about Teresa Weatherspoon's reaction? Do you think she overreacted? Or does she have a reason to be frustrated? Leave your comments down below. Let's turn this section into a real basketball debate. Exchange of ideas, analyses, predictions for the playoffs. We want to see it all. And look, if you enjoyed this content...
All right, family, do you guys think that the Indiana Fever will continue to prevail and basically lead the way in the playoffs? Do you guys feel like Teresa Weatherspoon should be fined like I do? Or do you feel like she should be excused because she overreacted and was emotionally attached to the result to the game of her team losing as a coach? That's why she got up and ignored the reporter. I'm curious to get you guys' insight, thoughts, and perspective. Get this video a big thumbs up. It helps crush the YouTube algorithm. It's totally free. On that note, family, as always, peace.